What's up, everyone? Thank you all for coming out to the Phoenix Cannabis Coalition meeting. It really means a lot to see this camaraderie. People coming out in support of legalization in Arizona. And we got a lot going on here coming up with this next couple of years going on here. We do have the Marijuana Policy Project initiative on the 2016 election ballot. However, there are huge issues with that initiative. It is not legalization, and even if it passes, we still need to push for real legalization in 2018. So Safer Arizona has formed a political action committee, and our goal is to draft two initiatives. One initiative in case the Marijuana Policy Project passes, and the other initiative in case the Marijuana Policy Project fails. And we also want to push our legislature to end cannabis prohibition in the next legislative session because they have the ability to do that as well. So what's going on with this campaign is going to be different than the campaign for AZFMR. We're actually going to have a large board of directors that we're going to have published on our website so people can see who's all involved. And this board of directors is not fully established yet, and we want you guys to be a part of establishing our permanent board of directors. Our next meeting is this Sunday at Jerry's Restaurant. That's 2323 East Thomas Road, 2 p.m., and we will be forming our permanent board. So we're going to have 15 members on our permanent board. If you think that you should be on this board, or if you know someone who you think should be on this board, come on down. Oh, this is crazy. What's going on here?
Winds of change, Bubba.
Winds of change. Come on down. Nominate the person you think should be on our board, and then they'll be seconded. Hopefully, for your sake, they'll be seconded.
Tom D.
To be on the board. And our formation board will vote to put them on the permanent board. Once that permanent board is established, we will be adopting bylaws that go over our day-to-day operations. And I've already kind of written a lot of that. I've got a bunch of different volunteer positions where I've itemized the different job descriptions so people can go down a list one at a time and know exactly what needs to be done instead of just hanging around twiddling their thumbs waiting for someone to tell them what to do. We've got a reference with clear directions on how we're going to get this done. So once we have our bylaws established, we will be taking inputs for these two initiatives, hopefully early next month, to be taking in the input for these initiatives. But I can't say for certain because I thought we would have our official bylaws done by now, and that took a little bit longer than I expected. But I'm pushing for early next month. We want to have the community involved and get the best possible initiative to get real legalization on the 2018 election ballot. And I think we can do it because we have been able to reach so many people, and we got people left and right trying to help. People want to do so much right now, but we don't have that structure set up on paper yet, so they're just holding off till now. But just this week, Safer Arizona has reached 556,000 people off our Facebook page, and I've got the screenshot to prove that. So I was just letting you know that we can reach massive amounts of people, and I think we can reach 1 million people in a week. That's the next goal. But we're going, and we're going hard. I'm excited about this 2018 campaign. Yeah, it sucks we couldn't get it on the 2016 election ballot. A lot of people are going to vote yes, a lot of people are going to vote no. We just want to educate you on what this initiative is going to do if you vote yes, and ask that you vote responsibly. Like Eric said, we're all adults, we could all read it and make our own choice on what we're going to vote for. So
either the 2018 initiative is going to be a whole new initiative from the ground up if the MPP initiative fails.
If the MPP fails,
or
yes.
it will be a measure to correct the MPP initiative in the event that it should pass.
Right, and we're trying to have both those initiatives done, so no matter what happens on November 8th, we'll be ready to rock and roll on November 9th with the initiative ready, petition printing locations established, and an army of volunteers ready to accept petitions and start collecting petition signatures. One great resource we have, as Eric brought up, is right now I go to a school for TV, film, and radio broadcasting. I've got access to a professional studio with several cameras worth $10,000 a piece that we can use every single day for the next 2 years.
Yeah!
That is great. All we gotta do is schedule it and come on down. We also got a radio broadcasting. We could do podcasts with 4 different people, have all the crazy, this is safer Arizona radio in between the little segments and stuff. It's gonna be great. Now I'm working to put that together right now. So we're only getting stronger. We're only getting bigger. We're only getting faster, and it's getting easier. But I need you guys to help be a part of this. Come on down to the studio. It's just over here on 4801 East McDowell. 48th Street, McDowell. Another thing that's awesome is our political action committee will be selling the Safer Arizona Safer shirts. Arizona Gregory is heading that department. Thank you, Arizona Gregory, bringing back the Safer shirts. He got a couple of different kinds. There was the what kinds you get, Greg?
We got a white shirt with black print that says marijuana is safer than, with a black underline so you can fill it in yourself. We got a purple with green print and blue with neon orange, I believe.
So these shirts are hot. They are power shirts. Everywhere you go, when you're walking around, people come up to you and they're like, I agree with you, man. I love your shirt. Some people even say, I completely agree with you. And I'm like, how can you completely agree with me? You don't even know me. I can be some weirdo on some other topics, and you're going to come up and just like act like you're worshiping me for my shirt. It's kind of weird sometimes. But it does start some conflict. I'm not gonna lie. I was at the Grand Canyon, and this guy came up to me, and he's all like, meh, alcohol's safer than marijuana because marijuana keeps you impaired for 30 days. And I hadn't even heard that one. I didn't even know how to respond right away. I'm like, do they even teach that in DARE? I started flipping out. I was all shaking and stuff because, like, I don't know, whatever. Sometimes I get a little bit.
Tell them about your PTSD story.
Yeah, I was over at this one place. It's where you in-process veterans who are needing therapy for PTSD. And I'm sitting there in the lobby, and these 2 guys behind the counter. I'm not even wearing a Safer shirt. It was a Dabber Cloth shirt. And unless you're in the marijuana industry, you might not know what dabbing is. It's kind of weird to people out of the culture, so I don't think they picked up what the shirt was when I signed in. But they were just sitting there behind the counter making fun of cannabis consumers, calling them lazy, calling them unmotivated, as if they were all losers. And I tried not to say anything. I'm just like, okay, they're just, maybe they'll stop talking, you know, just maybe they'll shut up. But they just kept talking. And so I go to the front desk and I put my hands down and I told them, I don't appreciate you guys talking about cannabis consumers like this. Cannabis is medicine and it saves veterans' lives. I know people who'd be dead right now if it weren't for cannabis. So when you talk about cannabis and consumers, respect it as medicine and respect them as patients. And they were just like, with their mouth open and all, didn't say anything. And I was all tripped out that time, all shaking. And then the doctor's right there saying, David, you can come in now. And I'm like, oh, shoot, witnessing me in like the middle of a panic attack. Whatever. Our first conversation talking about it was all about pot, and he's like tripping out too. I think he might be one of those brainwashed reefer madness type of people, but I don't know the results of that meeting yet. We'll find out later some other time. Well, anyways, I'm gonna wind this up, and I'm gonna introduce Mr. Tom Dean, attorney for cannabis.